The kingdom of Lysoria, once bathed in the golden light of victory, now shivered in the shadow of a resurgent darkness. The once vibrant streets, filled with laughter and the hustle of daily life, now lay eerily silent, as if the very soul of the city had been drained. The final veil, painstakingly woven with sacrifice and courage, held firm. Brave soldiers stood vigilant, their eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of the encroaching threat. Yet a chilling unease lingered in the hearts of the people. Mothers clutched their children tightly, and elders whispered prayers to the old gods, hoping for protection. The echoes of the cataclysmic battle against the undead king still resonated, a haunting reminder of the fragility of peace. The ground, once fertile and green, was now scarred and barren, a testament to the devastation that had occurred. Monuments erected to honor the fallen stood solemnly, their stone faces etched with sorrow and loss. People gathered to pay their respects, laying flowers and lighting candles, their faces a mix of grief and determination. Scars of war marred the land, a testament to the ferocity of the recent conflict. Entire villages had been reduced to rubble, and the once thriving farmlands were now desolate wastelands. Rebuilding efforts continued, each swing of the hammer, each stone set in place, a defiant act against the encroaching shadows. The people of Lysoria, though battered and bruised, refused to give in to despair. But whispers of fear traveled faster than the west wind. Rumors of dark forces gathering strength in the forgotten corners of the kingdom spread like wildfire, sowing seeds of doubt and dread. Ancient evils, it seemed, were not so easily vanquished. The shadows of the past loomed large, threatening to engulf the present. The people of Lysoria knew that the battle was far from over, and that the true test of their courage and resolve was yet to come. Deep within the grand archives of Lysoria, a forgotten prophecy resurfaced, its words like ice shards against the skin. It spoke of a lingering taint, a seed of darkness planted within the world's fabric. The undead king, though vanquished, had cast a long shadow. Unease rippled through the ranks of the surviving warriors, the Knights of the Dawn. Their faces, etched with the weariness of battle, hardened with newfound resolve. The king, young and untested, bore the weight of the prophecy like a leaden crown. A new generation of guardians, their mettle yet untried, prepared to face the encroaching darkness. 3 young warriors, Lena, the skilled archer with eyes as sharp as her arrows, had trained for years in the art of precision and stealth. Her aim was unmatched, and her arrows flew true, guided by her unwavering focus and determination. She was known throughout the land for her ability to strike targets from incredible distances, a talent that would prove invaluable in the battles to come. Dorian, the stoic swordsman whose resolve was as unyielding as his blade, had honed his skills through countless duels and skirmishes. His sword was an extension of his will, and his calm demeanor in the face of danger inspired those around him. Dorian's strength and discipline were the bedrock of the group's defense, a shield against the encroaching darkness. And Kaylin, the fiery mage whose command over fire mirrored her spirit, was a force of nature. Her spells could incinerate foes and light the darkest paths, a beacon of hope in desperate times. Kaylin's passion and energy were contagious, igniting the hearts of her companions and driving them forward. They were the first of the new guardians, chosen to protect Lysoria from the encroaching shadows. Their quest was perilous, filled with unknown dangers and formidable foes. The weight of their responsibility was immense, but they were united by a common purpose: to safeguard their homeland and its people. Whispers of strange occurrences had reached the capital, villages plunged into unnatural darkness, crops withering under a malevolent force, and the air thick with an eerie silence. The once vibrant lands were now shrouded in fear and uncertainty, a stark contrast to the peace they once knew. Whispers of the undead rising again sent chills down the spines of even the bravest warriors. These malevolent forces, long thought to be vanquished, were now re-emerging, threatening to engulf Lysoria in chaos and despair. The Guardians knew that they had to act swiftly to prevent the spread of this darkness. The Guardians, armed with the blessings of the light and the weight of their duty, set out on their journey. Their weapons, imbued with magical light, glowed with a radiant energy that symbolized their hope and determination. Each step they took was a step towards restoring balance and peace to their troubled land. Their journey was fraught with danger, a race against time to quell the rising tide of evil. They faced treacherous landscapes, fierce creatures, and dark magic at every turn. But with their combined strengths and unwavering resolve, the Guardians pressed on, determined to fulfill their destiny and protect Lysoria from the shadows that threatened to consume it. The villages they encountered were shrouded in fear. The once vibrant communities were now hushed and fearful, the laughter of children replaced by anxious whispers. The Guardians listened to tales of livestock disappearing, of shadows moving in the night, of an unnatural cold seeping from the earth. Each step deeper into the afflicted lands confirmed their fears. The air grew heavy, thick with a palpable sense of dread. The land itself seemed to groan under an unseen weight. Then they found it, the source of the disturbance. A towering monolith of obsidian pulsating with an eerie, violet light stood at the heart of a desolate wasteland. It was a scar upon the land, a festering wound in the world's fabric. Around it, the very air crackled with dark energy, the stench of decay thick in their throats. This was no mere remnant of the fallen king's power. This was something ancient, something malevolent. The prophecy had spoken of a seed of darkness, and the Guardians knew they had found it. The monolith was a conduit, pouring forth the taint of the void into their world. The battle was joined with the fury of a tempest. The air was thick with the clang of steel and the cries of warriors, each fighting for a glimmer of hope in the encroaching darkness. Lena's arrows flew with deadly precision, each shaft imbued with radiant light, tearing through the veil of darkness. Her aim was true, and her resolve unshakable, as she sought to pierce the heart of the shadow that threatened to consume them all. Dorian, a whirlwind of steel, cut down the shadowy figures that rose from the blighted earth. His sword danced in the dim light, a beacon of hope amidst the chaos. Every swing was a testament to his unyielding spirit and the strength of his ancestors. Kaelin, her eyes ablaze with righteous fury, unleashed torrents of fire, pushing back the encroaching shadows. Her magic was a fierce storm, a blazing inferno that sought to cleanse the battlefield of the dark taint that threatened to overwhelm them. Yet, for every abomination they vanquished, more seemed to rise in its place. The ground itself seemed to birth these monstrosities, an endless tide of darkness that sought to drown the light. The monolith pulsed with a sickly light, its energy seemingly endless. It stood as a dark beacon, a source of the malevolent power that fueled the shadowy horde. Its presence was a constant reminder of the overwhelming odds they faced. The Guardians fought with the courage of their forefathers, their hearts filled with the light, but even their combined might seemed insufficient. They drew strength from each other, their bonds forged in the crucible of battle, yet the darkness pressed ever closer. They were fighting a losing battle, their strength waning. Exhaustion weighed heavily on their shoulders, and despair began to creep into their hearts. But even in the face of overwhelming odds, they refused to surrender. Their spirits, though battered, remained unbroken, as they clung to the hope that light would prevail. Then, a figure emerged from the heart of the maelstrom. Lord Darius, the king's own uncle, and the kingdom's most powerful warrior, his armor battered, his face a mask of grim determination. He had been missing, presumed lost since the final battle with the Undead king. But he was alive and he was here. "Guardians!" His voice boomed across the battlefield. "I will hold them back! You must destroy the monolith! It is the only way!" He charged into the heart of the enemy ranks, a whirlwind of righteous fury, his every blow echoing with the strength of 1,000 men. He was buying them time they desperately needed. With renewed determination, the Guardians focused their combined might upon the monolith. Lena's arrow, tipped with a feather blessed by the ancient phoenix, found its mark, piercing the heart of the obsidian structure. Dorian, with a roar that shook the very foundations of the world, struck the final blow. The monolith shattered, erupting in a blinding explosion of light and energy. The darkness that had blanketed the land receded, the creatures of the void dissolving into motes of shadow. Victory was theirs, but at a terrible cost. Lord Darius lay still, his lifeblood spilled upon the blighted ground, a sacrifice to ensure the safety of his kingdom. In the aftermath, a single torch was lit, its flame a beacon of hope in the newly cleansed land. It would burn eternally, a monument to Lord Darius's sacrifice, a reminder of the ever-present threat and the eternal vigilance required to safeguard the light. The kingdom of Lysoria had survived, but the battle against the darkness was far from over. The echoes of eternity whispered of a time when the forces of darkness would rise again. And when they did, the guardians of Lysoria would be ready. The flame of hope, kindled by sacrifice, would guide them, ensuring that the darkness would never truly prevail.